Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Here to talk about my weekly planning. Now, if you have seen the video that I did about my top tab page divider system, then you've heard my confession about this video, about how I've tried several times to do this, how it's just not happening, and it's even gotten worse since I made that video earlier today. Finally got started, was well into it. Then my mom calls, messes me all up. And anyway, just hilarious. So here we go. Gonna try it again. Wanted to talk a little bit about what I do on Sunday nights. It came to me last night when I sat down that this might be something that I would certainly like to see what other people do, because there might be systems that people have that would be helpful. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to share mine. And here we are, Monday night. Let's try this again. Okay, so basically I am in my planner all the time. And, when I'm home, it's open all day long. Every night I sit down and do things. So there isn't a huge amount that has to be done to set me up for a new week. A lot of it is just actually double checking things, making sure things didn't get missed. It's sort of my one priority on Sunday night, along with making sure, I guess, two priorities. One is to make sure I've got everything set up for the week that's coming, and also just to make sure that nothing has been overlooked from the week prior. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I do this every night, so Sunday night is no different, is I look at Sunday's to-do list and I see if there's anything on here that I need to move forward onto Monday. And if so, then I obviously do that. Then the next thing that I want to look at is I go back to my weekly to-do list and see if there's anything there that needs to get moved forward. Often by later in the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in there, I've probably been looking through this and moved things, that I knew I wasn't going to get to. I've already moved them ahead. But there may be those last couple things that I thought I'd get to on the weekend, but it just didn't happen. So those get moved ahead. And they often will just get moved onto the next week's weekly to-do list. Unless it's something huge that I've missed that needs to go directly onto the Monday, I'll just move it from one week to the next. The third to-do list, because I'm all about to-do lists, if you haven't noticed, the third to-do list that I want to check back on is my January to-do list. These are the things, and again, the closer we get to the end of January, obviously the more important it is that I'm checking this one. Just checking to see if there's anything on this list that I can tackle this week. So that would get moved into the weekly to-do list, or, maybe onto a daily if I know for, when exactly I'm going to tackle that. And then, okay, so those I guess are my to-do list. Oh, and the other thing is I also have the weekly goals. I might take a quick peek on there. Usually this is just big ideas or extra things that are kind of copied elsewhere, but it doesn't hurt to just take a quick peek at that week and look and see. So there, I've taken care of. Hopefully by this point, I've caught any to-dos that haven't been accomplished, so nothing kind of gets lost and forgotten. So that's moved ahead. Then I want to take a quick peek at my week. Make sure that everything is up here that should be up here. Add in anything that that has come up since I've set this up, or anything that I want to. Sometimes I'll have a few little things up here. It's mostly appointments and places I need to be. And so there's sort of like mandatory things up here. But sometimes when I'm starting my new week, I will look and add in the optional things. Like, for example, I'm hoping to take my son to an indoor theme park. So I've put that in on Tuesday because that's the most likely day for us to do it. Now that I'm looking ahead at my week, Tuesday looks like the best day. Also, maybe looking at doing a shopping trip, I might write that in here. On Wednesday. So I mark that in. And again, these are optional. They might not happen there. But now that I'm looking at the week, I want to plop them in so that I know that they're at least tentatively set aside for that. Then I'm also going to double check that all of these things have been put into the weekly schedule. So up here, I don't, notice there's not a lot of space, so I don't take up space by putting in times. Plus, most of them, I can tell you exactly the repetitive things, or they may not have a necessarily time associated, but I can generally tell you what the times are, but I want to have them put into my daily schedule, so when I'm looking at each day, I know when my time is spoken for. So for example, that trip that I had put up here, I actually had already put it in here on the daily, I just hadn't moved it up to there. So I go through and I make sure that they are all up here. I also look at what are these events. So this is my dad's birthday. I want to make sure that any to-dos that I have to go along with that have been added in here, and pick, we're down to the wire. So if I don't have the present wrapped and I don't have the card and all that kind of stuff, I'm actually no longer just leaving it on my weekly to-do, but I'm actually moving it onto a time where it can get done. And in terms of setting up the week, that's sort of, and the other thing, I guess, is my menu. And this, sometimes I do on Sundays, and sometimes I wait until Monday, just because Sunday can be, kind of late, and it's a lot of things. Now, let me talk about my menu plan just for a second. And I might actually, it's not a planner related thing, but I might actually do a video about my menu plan, because I think that it's a really, I think it's a useful system. Not using it a ton right now, but that's just because of, some personal things that are going on here. But I have my menu set up in Google Calendar. I think I may have mentioned that in another video. And basically I set it up. It takes a little bit of time to set up, but once you set it up once, you can set it up to repeat. So every 8 weeks is the same dish, but you have 8 weeks of things you don't notice, right? That you're repeating as much. So basically what I can do is on Sunday night, I can be writing in my menu right from Google Calendar. I don't even have to think about it. I just open it up, look at it, and write it all in. Monday, I always go through and check to make sure that I actually have all the things that I need for each meal. Or if I'm not using the Google Calendar meal, then, either Sunday night or Monday morning, I go through and mark in my menu on, again, I use... these printables come with a menu plan that I just sort of override. So I just added my menu right on my daily schedule. Okay, so basically at this point, if I have any weekly or dailies that I haven't done up, this again, a lot of these things I may do throughout the week when I have time. Decorating my pages, I often have done that, some afternoon when I have a few minutes, or during nap time someday, some morning or something. The same with setting up these. I may have, these are done up. Let me see, so I've decorated the pages, but I haven't actually set up the weeklies yet. So at some point this week I will do that, or worst case Sunday night I will make sure that that's done. So now my week is pretty much set up. The one last thing that I do, and sometimes I do this Sunday night, sometimes I wait until Monday, is the last page of these, my little weekly bundle. I love that they're like a little bundle, right? It's like, it's just, it's like, it's got your goals and it's got your debrief, and it's like a perfect little pocket of time, is the debrief. And I am enjoying this because I'm not a journaler, one who journals by nature. It's something that I'd like to do and would like to do more frequently. So things like this provide me with that opportunity and a reminder, this big empty page. When I first started using these inserts, I didn't have this set up, the weekly to do here. I was using this. But I knew that if I didn't keep this blank and available, that I wouldn't do this type of journaling. So I decided to forfeit the menu and take this space for my weeklies. And that's working well. It allowed me to protect this space. And I do most nights. Oh, look there. Didn't do it. Sometimes it's just a quick, I love snowstorms, snowstorm days, not so much the snowstorm, but the storm day, kids home from school. So I write a little note each week. So when it comes to here, maybe I take a quick peek through these notes and just see if there's something that jogs my memory. But just kind of sum up my week. As here I put a great week. It was just a great week. And even in here I talk about, I don't really know what was so great about it. I just, at the end of the week, felt like it was a great week. And I think that that's a wonderful place to be. So I think that now again, this is part of why I didn't even want to tackle this video, because I knew I'd forget 100 things. that I do. And as soon as I hit end, I know that they're all going to come to me. But I think that generally speaking, that is what I do. So it's really about making sure that the week ahead is ready, that as much information as I know at this point is in there, and then taking a quick look at the week prior to make sure that what absolutely needed to get done got done. Anything that was delayed or missed gets moved ahead or canceled if it was something, that just sometimes those things just aren't as important, or they were time sensitive, or maybe they just, whatever it was, didn't happen. But just making sure that all those loose ends are tied up. And then the very last thing that I do is move my today ruler ahead. Move my today ruler from, so I'm on Sunday, I move it ahead to Monday. And if I haven't done so already, I will move my next week marker to the Monday of the following week. All right, I'm going to say that's it. I would love to see if you have videos or if you have blog posts or anything about what you do every week. I know some people have nice little cards, and I'm thinking maybe I will do, I was talking about these reminder cards in another post. I may have to do up one of these for my weekly. I like that idea. I've seen that. Anyway, like I was saying, if you have a video or a blog post about what you do every week, I would love to see it. Please send me the link so I can check that out. Thanks for watching. That's it. Good night.